Nestled in this picturesque northwestern Pennsylvania valley is a truly unique resort.
For more than 80 years, Glendorn has treated the Dorn family to pristine vistas, world-class fly fishing and hunting, and untold memories. Hello, I'm Catherine Favel. Now, this premier resort and surrounding timberland are up for auction, so join us as we explore Glendorn.
Glendorn is 1,200 acres of babbling streams, lakes and ponds, and dozens of unique cabins with all the amenities of a high-end resort. For 80 years, the Dorn family has used the sprawling compound as a family retreat. Now, Williams & Williams Real Estate Auctions proudly offers this unique property and surrounding timberland for auction. To fully appreciate Glendorn, you must trace the Dorn family tree back to C.G. Dorn.
Grandfather bought the property from a coal company in Erie, Pennsylvania, probably in 1929 for probably less than $10 an acre. This was right after the Depression was getting underway.
Glendorn looked much different than now. The previous owners clear-cut the valley. C.G. Dorn built a small fishing camp near the Fuller Brook Creek. Dorn slowly moved his family to the property, including his grandchildren. In 1930, Dorn recreated the lodge at Yellowstone as Glendorn's Big House for just $11,000. As the next generation of Dorns grew, the family quickly needed to expand the retreat.
This place was available. And then the cabins came in 1947.
The resort boasts a mix of smaller, intimate accommodations, including the Roost, a brick and stone cabin only accessed by crossing an arched stone footbridge. The living room walls are covered in cypress with a magnificent fireplace. The master bedroom has its own fireplace and separate his and hers bathrooms.
Each building has its own charm, it has its own unique wood and decor, construction. It could be chestnut, could be hickory, could be pine, could be redwood. And the craftsmanship of these structures is the best structures that I've ever seen in any building. There are no walls out of plumb. Everything is done, top notch, and has been preserved and kept over the years to be as new condition.
Dale's cabin, built by one of the original grandchildren, is just a short walk from the Big House. The Jill and Miller cabins are truly rustic, with multiple bedrooms, small kitchenettes, and relaxing porches just steps away from the waterfalls of the Fuller Brook stream. For a truly isolating and relaxing stay, guests often stay at the Forest Hideout. Built by the elder members of the Dorn family as a secluded getaway from all of the children, this cabin is hidden on the hillside in the middle of the forest. While remote, it boasts slate floors, hardwood finish, an oversized fireplace, an outdoor fireplace and barbecue area, and its own shooting range. During summers in the 50s and 60s, Glendorn was overrun with kids of all ages.
So we could bring our kids up here and place them with the then manager, and we knew they'd be looked after. And then the adults in each family would go back to their homes and in effect date like they used to do before they had kids.
The Dorn family never stopped expanding the activities available at Glendorn. Swimming in the state's first heated pool, skeet shooting, fishing. But Richard Dorn wanted to sail, so he built Lake Bondu.
Didn't exist until Dick decided he wanted a place to sail. Nobody knew how to sail. And and it never worked for sailing.
No.
At all.
Needless to say.
But it became a place that the kids would walk down. They would walk the stream every Sunday, and they would walk the whole stream down, and then they would have Sunday down at the lake. They'd have games and war canoes and do all of that kind of thing. And while the adults had Sunday lunch at the trap house.
Glendorn's cabins and fields are filled with memories of childhood mischief and of childhood innocence.
You swam a mile in the pool every day, you shot skeet, you rode horses, you went to archery, you climbed up to Conglomeration Hill. You had a series of activities, and all activities were based out of the playhouse. So the kids ate every single meal together. And then after dinner, we were allowed a lollipop, and we would get on the back of the fire truck, and we would come roaring past the big house where the adults are having cocktails and enjoying themselves, and the parents would all come out and give you a hug and a kiss and send you on your way for your after dinner activities.
The Dorn family viewed Glendorn as their retreat from the hustle and bustle of the real world.
For me, it's when the gates open up and you move through the gates, and then you hear, going over the first bridge and the second bridge, and then Glendorn unfolds, the property and the improvements in the big house. Then you know that you're in a sort of a special place, a place that offers opportunities of renewal and intimacy. There, the world seems to have faded away, and now you get to focus on what's important to you for your time at Glendorn. And then when the gates open back up, the world returns.
When the Glendorn gates open, family members and more recently, resort guests are swept away, no matter the time of year.
I can remember coming up in Christmases, probably most vivid memory was probably when I was 6 or 8, and it snowed 27 inches on Christmas Eve, and the plow trucks went down the main driveway, and then the bucket truck had to pick us up from the roost where we were staying and bring us back.
My favorite time in the snow is when, the trees are all bare and you get a heavy snowfall, and each little crevice, each little nub or branch is just loaded with snow, and it's just so beautiful.
As winter turns to spring, the thousands of acres surrounding Glendorn come alive.
It's all the newness popping up, and getting excited about what you're going to be able to do and start planning, and just seeing the new fawns being born and the new little birds, and all the creatures are starting to come out of the woods.
Glendorn's forests are teeming with wildlife, from rabbits to turkeys and quail to white-tailed deer and, of course, the trout. Family members and guests often have face-to-face encounters with the woodland creatures.
Glendorn is a beautiful spot. It's here, and if it continues on, the family will not be here, but I'll miss them greatly. But I hope and pray that someone will take it and run with it. It has so much to offer.
In the past, Glendorn served as a family retreat, giving a large family the chance to connect.
Everybody that comes walks away with the intuitive understanding of family. And it was the dream of a man and a woman for their children and their children's children to always be in a family. So we include everybody.
And it's a place for renewal.
Absolutely. It's where we come to heal.
Our grandmother referred to everybody, because there were too many people that came and went. She always called them love. And I think that was indicative.
And they all called her Mrs. Mommy.
She was Mrs. Mommy, and everyone else was love. And that's how you felt when you were here. You were loved.
Always.
When we return, we take a personal tour of the big house, and we find out which U.S. president fell in love with the Dorn Suite.